Yeah.
Episode 1 of video.
All right, guys. Welcome to Pave Your Paradise podcast video series. I am super stoked to be featuring Evan Carmichael here in Toronto for the first ever video for Pave Your Paradise. Obviously, you guys know, love doing the podcast, so I figured why not start the video series?
I like it.
And what better person to start it with than YouTube expert Evan Carmichael?
Good to be here. Well, I guess you kind of came to my dance studio, so thanks for coming. We made it happen. This is great.
I'm so excited to be here with you. Evan, what has been a highlight of your week so far?
Wow, this. I really have a hard time looking back. I'm like super just, what am I doing right now? So this is great. You come in here, you brought your guy, we got like 18 cameras on us, lights. This is amazing. I'm looking forward to having a great show here.
And I know in our other interview for the podcast, we talked about the importance of having a morning routine.
Mm-hmm.
So can you talk about the elements that are really important for you that you've discovered over the years and what your current morning routine looks like?
So I go through 5 S's. Sing, sun, soar, sweat, scare. So sing, I put on music right away. And any song that will get you, like if it came on, you'd have to bounce and you'd have to sing, right?
Yeah.
So right now, there's a Chinese rap that I did. It's a Chinese song that I did a rap in English on top of.
Yeah.
And so I play that every morning.
Chinese rap, is it like dance or is it like straight up like hardcore rap?
I'm rapping
Yeah.
to a Chinese song. So there's this woman who's rapping, and I sped her up, and then I'm rapping over the parts where she's not singing. That was a fun little project that I worked on. So I like it. It makes me move. So I'm rapping to my own song every morning while it comes on. But whatever song gets you up and ready to go, because we wake up and you're tired and starting your day, and so music is the fastest way to change your state. Like as soon as it comes on, in 5 seconds, you can already be feeling better, right?
Oh yeah.
And there's no one magical song. It's whatever it is for you and the audience. Then sun. So I like to get outside.
Yeah.
So we got 2 dogs. They're in here with us today. I like to get outside just to get some fresh air on my face. We're in Toronto. It's December. There's not a lot of sun happening right now. But just getting out of your environment, even if you work from home, the walk from just your bedroom to the office, you can carry with that still the tired energy of the bedroom, right? So get outside. Get some fresh air. Even if it's just go out on the balcony and just take in some sun for a little bit.
Mother Nature.
Mother Nature makes a difference. Then soar. So this is the most important part. What is the thing that you need to do every day that makes you feel bold, powerful, unstoppable, confident, alive? Whatever that thing is, do it first thing in the morning. Instead of waiting, like maybe it's listening to the Pave Your Paradise podcast or watching the video series now, it's happening. If that's a thing, then you watch it every morning. You listen to it every morning. Most of us don't have enough intention behind the day.
Yeah.
And so I know it's part of what you do in the morning too, but for me it's, I go live on Instagram. So service, if I feel like the work that I'm doing matters, is important, I'm serving somebody, it makes me more amped up for the day.
Totally.
So I'll go live on Instagram every morning and people join in from around the world asking questions and I help them. And it's a quick half hour. And that's what I need to do. So other people, maybe it's meditation, maybe it's prayer, maybe it's something, like anything. Whatever the thing is that makes you feel bold, powerful, confident, if you started your day with the thing that made you feel bold and powerful, your year is going to look totally different. Like where you are in 1 year will be totally different than where you are right now.
Amen.
And then the last 2 are just sweat and scare. So I'll do a workout and then hop into a cold shower because
Like what do you like to do for working out?
Usually do 100 push-ups, 100 squats. What am I doing now? 100 push-ups, 100 squats, and 100 jumping jacks.
Yeah. And then you do like the Wim Hof, the whole like cold, hot.
That's it. Not hot, just cold.
Just cold.
Just cold. Yeah. There's no hot in the Wim Hof.
No, I mean like the cold, like the whole the heat and coolness. Like you get really worked out, like sweaty.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Then you do the cold.
Then jump into the cold. Yeah. I actually have. So Wim is a friend of the channel. We had him on my channel. Nini and I, my wife, went to go do his workshop.
Yeah.
And sat in the ice bath, and then I did a one-on-one with him for my channel. And so in my bathroom, I've actually got a picture of Wim in the ice, and it's a reminder. And he's got a quote there. I don't remember what it is, but basically about comfort zone. Like if you only do what's comfortable, you never know the limits you can reach. So I do my workout, then I look at the quote, and then hop in the shower, turn it to cold, and let's go.
Wow, what a way to start your day.
Yeah.
And over the years, obviously, you've acquired different, methods from different people. And obviously, being that you interview people on success, have you basically extracted what you found other people to have put into their morning routines?
Yeah, I think the way to do it is there's two ways. One, you start by thinking, what makes you bold, powerful, confident, alive? Whoever's watching, you've already felt it, you've experienced it.
How can people get into that state of mind per se, where they actually can, what you've obviously learned to naturally do is watch other people and how they're living their lives, and then you've extracted and basically modeled success, as you say.
Yeah.
So for someone who wants to create this master morning routine,
yeah.
It's one thing to just listen or to see what other people are doing, but how can they actually create one for themselves?
So I split it into two. The first part is what has made you bold, powerful, confident, alive, right? It's happened to you, you've felt it, it's just not consistent. That's the problem. For most of us, it's not consistent. You have these moments of boldness, I can do anything. And then you wake up tomorrow, it's I can't do that thing anymore. And we just live in the world of, I can't do it, but you feel like you're capable of more, but you're afraid to take action. So in those moments where you have felt boldness, what did you do just before? Did you have a conversation? Did you meditate, pray, whatever the thing was?
Yeah.
Then that's not even pulling from somebody else, that's you. You've already felt boldness. What happened? How did you do it? Now try to plan that in your morning routine. And that can be different for other people. For me, it's helping people. And so the easiest way to do it is by going live on Instagram. Then it's pulling from different people to see what are they doing and how can you apply it. I love small tests.
Yeah.
We were talking about journaling before we went live. So lots of people do journaling. Tim Ferriss does journaling. Lots of successful entrepreneurs do journaling. It's okay, great, idea to action. I'm huge on idea. You get an idea, go do something about it.
Yes, amen. Thank you for saying that, yes.
Trust your ideas, trust that they're amazing, and just try it and see, because you won't know until you do it. You sitting on the couch thinking about it, will journaling work for you? You can't think your way through that. You won't know, you gotta do it.
You have to be the human experiment.
You gotta do it.
For all you guys listening, human experimentation.
Human experiment, I like it. So I tried journaling, it didn't stick with me. I just didn't get the feeling at the end of it. My hand was getting tired. Just of other things that I've tried, it didn't stick. Meditation, I've had a super hard time getting the meditation practice. So a lot of things that people do, it's you try it and then you see, you put on the hat.
If it works for you.
You put on that shade of lipstick, right? And you see, does it fit? Yeah, I want to rock that pink. It's no, I don't feel it, right? It's going to be different for different people.
For sure.
And so you start with what makes you feel bold and confident, and you put that in your routine, and then you can pull different things from different people, and then you try it on for a week. Give it a week. Try it for 7 days and just see. Does it make you feel better, higher energy, or do you feel worse after doing it?
Yeah. That's a really beautiful way to segue into my next topic with you that I want to cover, which is your entire belief, literally, around Believe Nation.
Yeah.
And the fact that we all have this quote-unquote one word. So I'd love for you to share with the audience, how the conception of this idea of yours came to be that, first of all, you figured out your one word, which is believe, hence the Believe Nation.
Right.
Founding it, and this amazing idea turned into this sensational community and mission that you're on. So how did you discover that Believe was your word? And then, taking that concept, how can others out there who are watching, aside from getting your book
sure.
and watching the videos, how can they start to create that journey for themselves of figuring out what their one word is?
Did you figure out yours?
I think my one word is a work in progress.
Okay.
I will say, right now, I feel like I want to say that my word feels like it changes every year.
Okay.
If that makes any sense.
So it's close. It's just now there's something deeper. There's a deeper truth underneath all of that. So here's the start of a process. And yes, it's in the book, but we'll hack through it.
Yeah.
Who is your favorite teacher of all time?
That's a really good question for me.
From elementary to high school
Does
to
it have
university.
to be an actual teacher?
Somebody who you learned, somebody from your youth that you actually learned from. High school, university, elementary school, however far back. This teacher made a difference in my life.
Okay, I will think about that, and then we'll get back to that.
Okay, good.
I have to think about that one.
What's your favorite movie of all time?
There's two that come to mind.
Okay.
Can I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go.
So I love Shawshank Redemption.
Okay.
That's probably one of my absolute favorites, but I also love Avatar.
Okay, so give me 3 words as to why you like both of those. Shawshank, 3 words. What it makes you feel.
How it makes me feel?
Yeah, like what do you love about that movie?
With Shawshank Redemption in particular, I think there's this foundation of connection, the connection between the characters that I can't not watch that movie and not cry.
Okay.
Like that. I think there's something to do with love, like the love that's present in that movie for me. That's a big one. Like it's a huge value of mine.
Okay.
I'd say.
Good.
So love, connection, and I want to say the word that keeps like popping up in my head is just like hope or optimism.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
How about Avatar?
Ooh, that one to me definitely creativity.
Okay.
Expansion.
Okay.
What would be another one that comes to mind in that? Just creativity, expansion, and I think again connection. It's really all about like that fundamental connection.
Okay. Great. So already we're seeing connection hit between the two, right? Now you value all of those things. You value love, you value creativity, you value expansion, you value hope, optimism, but even just between those two, you value connection just a little bit more, right? And so now you keep playing that out. So like, who's your favorite singer? What's your favorite song?
Yeah.
Who was your favorite teacher? What did you love about your parents? That's going through the positive route. Sometimes it's easy to go negative. It's like, who did you hate? Who was the worst teacher?
Yeah.
Who are the worst kinds of people that you hate? And then it's not that they're bad people. It's just they have something about them.
Yeah.
So same thing. You come up with 3 words as to what you don't like about them, and then you go through and you see what's common. So even taking connection, if you say that's connection, is your 1 word, and you can play with it. But underneath connection then becomes like, what is connection to you? Well, connection to me is love, it's expansiveness,
Yes.
it's hope, it's creativity. Like all of those things equals connection. Even though if you look up connection in a dictionary, you may not find love.
No,
or hope.
The literal,
Exactly,
the
right?
layman's term of it would be like, dot.
Right. So people think like connecting people together or, right? So this is where you turn the word connection and you put the hashtag in front of it, because the hashtag then makes it mean something bigger than just a word. So hashtag connection for you becomes love, hope, connection, optimism, creativity, expansiveness.
Yeah.
And so now when you're creating anything in your business, if you're leading with connection, first of all, like, why does this even matter? Great. For anything that you do, there has to be an element of connection to it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're not going to be happy.
Yeah.
And how do you get connection? Well, it's through these things. There's through hope and optimism and creativity and expansiveness. So if you're hiring your next videographer, right? Or your next editor, or your next whatever, you want to attract somebody who also cares about making connections.
Yeah.
Because they might be a great writer, or they might be great at pushing buttons or editing, but if they don't feel the same values as you around connection, it's just not going to be a fit.
Totally.
Right? Regardless of how skilled they are at it. Same thing in relationships. You want to attract people who value connection as well.
I see that too. Like when we're talking about relationships, even like the people that I find most attractive are the people who are also really family oriented like I am, or who really love, the intimate connections in their life are really meaningful for them, and that brings them a lot of like reciprocity in the love department. You know what I mean? Like it's interesting that you're saying that. Even
the clients, even the people that you're coaching, the ones who value connection, you'll just resonate strongly with. You'll be able to move them and shift them faster and help them get results faster than for somebody who doesn't think connection is stupid, but it's just not their priority.
Yeah, and like for me too, I think connection, like when you're saying that, because I'm picturing you with your believe, your 1 word believe, and why that resonates, and now that you're making the dots kind of connected of like, now it's in every area of what you do. Yeah. For me, like the connection, I always think of it like the connection with myself first and foremost, and then connection with other. And like that does resonate in everything that I'm doing, hence why I'm connecting with you.
Yeah, there we are. We're here.
On camera right now, and we're connecting with these little fur babies too. Right? But this is a really interesting concept. So then when you have done that, then you're looking at the different areas of your life and like figuring out what that 1 word and how it can apply, and like how does that come to be for people?
So even before that, like data awareness alone is super valuable. Like
Yes.
it's what most people have no idea. If you ask them what are they standing for, it's like, I don't know.
I'm not sure.
And so what ends up happening is everybody around you has an opinion on what you should do.
Yeah.
Right? Your parents, your friends, society is like, you should do this, you should do that. And it's hard to know which path you should take. This gives you a rock to stand on. So instead of doing something because somebody else wants you to do it, it's like, well, does this actually lead to connection? If yes, I'm willing to try it. If not, then it's not going to be a fit. And when somebody's hard pushing for you to do something and you don't want to do it, this helps give you clarity over it.
Completely.
If you're ever not happy in your life, it's because you're missing connection.
I'm getting goosebumps from you. I'm getting goosebumps right now. I'm not even joking. Like,
but that's
it's
it. Like,
so true.
If you think about when you felt the worst, when you're crying, eating the ice cream, and just feel the worst, and there's a lack of connection that you're missing. And then what does connection mean? Well, love, expansivism, hope, optimism, creativity. That's how you find connection. And the great news is all of those things are available at your fingertips whenever you want it, right? You can go and be creative if you want. You can go find love if you want. You can, right? May not be like romantic love, but even
well, connecting with myself is such a big part of like who I am and what I do in my life. Is like I know just I will always have the most important relationship with myself, and I say this in my podcast on relationships, my writings, and all of those things. Like that's the first and foremost connection you need in order to be able to even connect with others.
And look at it, 3 circles. So there's yourself, there's the people that you know and care about, and then there's the world.
Yes.
And so for entrepreneurs, especially you, like you have a big mission. You want to help the world. So it's yourself first. Like if that's not taken care of, then it's really hard to go off and do anything else. Then it's the people around you, your friends, your colleagues, the people on your team, relationships. If all of them are crashing and tanking, it's hard for you to go and do your big mission. So it's showing connection to them. And then if that's all taken care of, then it's easy to go out and spread your mission to the world.
Completely.
So what it forces is a filter on your life. It becomes the lens through which you see the world. It's through connection. And that's the same, everybody can go through the same process, right?
Yes.
And chances are, like whatever teacher that you loved growing up still had, formed a connection. It wasn't because he or she taught you grade, 8 math. It was because they formed some kind of connection.
Algebra teachers.
Right? Like if you think about who your favorite teacher is, it's never the subject matter. It's because that person meant something to you and they taught you a life skill. So
and now that you're saying that, it's like, who did I connect with
right?
the most?
The most.
That's what I'm really like, that's really it.
And then you can now teach other people who value connection how to connect more to themselves, to the people around them, and to the world. Right?
Yes, thank you so much for sharing that one word. I think that can help so many people watching, especially because I think indecision is something that so many people struggle with, especially entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Like I have a million different, I'm so guilty of this. I have a million different options. I have so many opportunities, but which direction do I go in?
Yeah.
This is a beautiful way to have that filter, to have that lens to help you go in that direction. So I know we're going to be talking about Built to Serve, which I know is your latest and greatest book, and that has everything to do with yourself and serving your literal small world and then the world at large.
Yeah.
Before that, I actually want to get into a little bit diving deeper into connection.
Okay.
And because I know you work with so many amazing entrepreneurs, and you have your beautiful wife Nina, and you guys have an amazing relationship. One thing that knowing partly parts of your journey and some of the highlights and also some of the downfalls, because we talked about your whole transformation. One thing that I'd love for you to talk on today, and I think that so many entrepreneurs can relate to, is the balance in life. And I come across this, whether it's coaching clients or people who write in about my podcast and topics they want covered, is like achieving that kind of balance where you have, your relationships, where you have your health, where you have your self-care, as you said, all these things, plus your business operating. And I know for you, at one point, you revealed on our last interview together that you at one point you had decided, I'm going to quit this, like I'm done with this business, it's not working, and then you made the call to actually not do that. Mm-hmm. So that was one element. Now, in your personal life, I know that you also went through a divorce. Mm-hmm. And for a lot of entrepreneurs out there, I think, again, there's that kind of... you study success. You have really high standards for yourself. You value, having that success in all areas of your life. So if you can navigate, just for the audience listening out there, what that journey was like. And I think a big pain point that I often have people ask me about is knowing when to let go. because you've dealt with that on the business side, and I think there's such a correlation to how you operate in business to how you operate in your personal life. So how can people out there, discover for themselves when to actually make that call to let go, as someone who wants to make things like happen and make them a success? How do you know when to actually let go of something?
You let go when you don't love it anymore. A business, a relationship, if you don't love it, you should let go as soon as possible. And most people fall into two camps. One, they quit too soon. They still love it. This is to see a lot of entrepreneurs. They still love their business, but it's not working out, and so they quit on it. This is why I went back to my business, because I still loved it. If you quit on it too soon and you still love it, you're going to regret that your whole life.
Yeah.
You're going to, in 10 years, 20 years, 40 years, whatever, you're going to look back and say, I could have done a little more. I quit too soon. And so if you still love it, but it hasn't worked out yet, you have to keep going. Otherwise, you're going to regret it, and use that as fuel. The flip side is a lot of people who stay in the thing for too long when they stop loving it.
Yeah.
People stay in relationships too long when they've stopped loving it. They stay in businesses for too long when they've stopped loving it because they've had some success with it. You're not going to stay in a crappy business forever if the business has taken off, but then you stop loving it and you feel like you bought yourself a job. When you quit, ASAP.
Yeah.
Like, sell it to somebody else and move on, because you're never going to win doing work that you hate.
Yeah.
So while you still have one foot in the pool of like, it's just okay, I don't hate it, I don't love it, can you tweak it so that you can love it, or is it time to move on and go do something else? This is what I do on the micro and the macro always. I still love making YouTube videos. I'm 6,000 videos in 10 years, I still love it. But the day that I stop liking making videos, if I have to go to my camera, be like, I'm not feeling it. That's it. Done.
Yeah.
Done. Like, I'll say, hey, you want to take over my YouTube channel? Try to sell it, move on, or something else, because I'm never going to win doing work that I hate.
Yeah.
And that's a big decision. On the micro, you apply the same ideas. So as an example, for the past couple months, I've been doing a Just Woke Up challenge on Instagram.
Yeah.
So basically, as soon as you wake up, you film yourself. Like, hey, just woke up.
So wait, do you even allow yourself to go to the bathroom first?
No. It's
Nothing.
like I'm on my way to the bathroom. I just go. I'm sometimes in my robe, sometimes not wearing anything. Like from the bedroom to the bathroom. As soon as I'm out of earshot range for my wife, I start recording. So it's basically me walking into the bathroom, turning on the light, and
Nina,
usually
he gives you that much respect.
Yeah, that's it. But then when it's dark and then you turn the light on, you catch the oh, it's so bright.
That's so funny.
Which was awesome because I wanted to show the
real life.
Yeah, because Instagram is so fancy, beautiful, perfect all the time, and that's fine. But there's also here's real life situation. So I was doing that for a couple months, and then this week I went to the bathroom. And I'm not feeling it.
And you stopped.
Yeah, it's not a challenge anymore. This is easy. It was like the Just Woke Up challenge. Now it's easy. It's not a challenge. So I just made a video saying that's it. We're done with the Just Woke Up challenge.
It wasn't in alignment with you anymore.
Yeah, and we made a video with Nina, and she said, so what are you going to do next?
Yeah.
Right? It's like, I don't know, but we'll figure it out.
I love that. I love that you shared that, first off, for just being raw and real with the audience, because, again, I think that's something that a lot of people, it's kind of that, like you said, there's the two camps where sometimes you're so married to your idea, literally and figuratively, that you just keep holding on and you don't want to let go. But when we let go, that's when you open up that space for something better for you to come in.
And trusting that there is something better.
Yeah.
A lot of times the reason to let go, people don't want to let go is one, they're afraid of judgment. Like, what are my friends or family or whatever going to say if I stop being an engineer and go be a singer, right?
Exactly.
I mean, that's hard. But you being an engineer for the rest of your life and hating it is not.
You're not serving anyone.
You're not. And like, what's the message you want to give to your kids? Just do the work that you hate just because, right? And so that's unfortunately that's where a lot of people end up getting stuck. They didn't try enough things. They found one thing that was just okay, and then they bought themselves a job for life that they hate. And recognizing that you're a genius, that you're extraordinary, you're the best in the world at something, and you have to go find it, chase it down, and use that to serve others.
And that, speaking of that, like when you say that, I mean, that's for people out there who are watching who are like, well, that's nice, Mandy, that's nice, Evan. Y'all like have this whole belief in yourself, and you're constantly doing self-development and studying people for success methods and all these things. how can people just start simply today? Like, how can they start to, go on that path or journey of figuring out what it is they are meant to do?
So it starts with the belief that there is something, the belief that it's possible.
Yeah.
Right? And people watching this show and listening to your podcast probably aren't of the opinion of nothing's possible and I can't do it and I'm stuck and
No,
this
I often
life sucks,
remind
right?
them too. Even the quote itself, Miss Audrey Hepburn, nothing is impossible. Even the word itself says, I'm possible.
Right? It's fun. You should look at, if you like her, you should look at her definition of pink. Because if you're looking at a one word and how to break it down, like how she describes, like if pink is her one word, how she describes what pink means is super interesting.
Okay, I gotta look this up.
Yeah, Audrey Hepburn, pink. So you start with the mindset. You start with whatever it is that makes you feel hopeful, be around that. Music, people, resources. Before you start planning what is your life going to look like and what's my next step and what's my purpose, the setting, the environment, your attitude around the whole thing is really important. So
that's one thing actually I wanted to talk to you too about today is the concept of just, obviously I'm staring at your beautiful wife and your dogs, like the people you surround yourself with. If you can just touch on that for a moment and making sure that your tribe is so energizing and uplifting and the right kind of people, and how you've been able to create that around yourself and how to know when to actually have to let go of like those people. Like what should people be feeling? What should they be looking out for? Sometimes maybe it's better off even to be alone for a while. Like what is that like, getting your tribe of community together? Yeah,
the easiest way to do it is around figuring out what your one word is, right? So you care about connection. You want people who also care about connection. If you haven't gone through that process yet, it's not that difficult, go through it. But otherwise, just pay attention to energy. There are some people that when you leave a conversation, you feel good, you feel energy, you feel excited, you feel like you're walking a little bit faster and you're looking up more. And there's other people when you leave, you're feeling low and negative and depressed, right? So the very simple version is just spend less time with the people who make you feel negative and more time with the people who make you feel positive. You may want to cut off access, that may be hard, like maybe it's your mom who makes you feel like an idiot, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean you have to cut off total access to your mom. Maybe you do. Maybe that's actually the best thing for you. But it could just be there are some topics, like your mom is fine, but whenever you talk about relationships, that's when it goes crazy.
Yeah.
So like, okay, that's a no-go zone.
Boundaries.
Mom, I love you. We're not talking about relationships because every time we do, it gets crazy. Right?
Yeah.
And so you just focus on everything else. So you focus on what can I love about this person, especially when it's family and dynamics.
Yeah.
And then you start. If you're taking away the negativity, now you have a void. So you fill it with positivity. And ideally that's people that you can meet, face to face. And that could be going to events and hanging out. And we're going to do an event here later on. We'll have some people showing up. Being around people who've like-minded interests. We're in a dance studio, like go take a dance class.
High vibes. And that's how you and Nina met.
That's how Nina and I met, right? But it could also be online, right?
Yeah.
It could be listening to your show, your podcast. It
Communities.
Could be exactly just surrounding yourself with positivity, because some people think, well, I'm not in a big city and I don't have access to XYZ. You have access to the internet.
Yeah.
There's lots of positivity out there as
Heck
well,
yes.
if you choose so, right? And so surround that and they'll pull you up.
Yeah.
So whoever's more confident wins. And so the trick is, I was talking to a buddy of mine, so he's been a friend for over a decade and he's become more and more positive over the years.
I'm sure you haven't rubbed off on him.
Well, this is the thing. So this is what he said today, which was super interesting. He said, your belief in how great I could be was greater than my belief in how much I sucked.
Oh.
Right?
Wow.
So it forced him to become more optimistic and believe in himself because I believed in him more. So you want to be around people and energy that is super confident in how positive the world can be.
Yeah.
So if you bring me the most negative person, I'm so on my rock of belief that I'm not going to get sucked into the negative. I'm going to bring them into positive. It's just going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just because. Like, there's no option. You're going to believe more. You're going to have more positivity.
Yes.
There's no option, right?
That's why I call myself a life cheerleader, because and you're a life cheerleader too.
Yeah, if somebody's hanging around you and they're super negative and hate their life, you're not going to go down their hole. They're going to rise up. They have to.
Yeah.
There's no option because you're more confident in that than they are in how crappy life is.
Yeah.
And so that forces the change. And so surrounding yourself with people who are like that, the life cheerleader, which I love, again, virtually or in person, forces you to get lifted from the hole that you're in.
Totally.
And so finding those people.
Awesome. Thank you, Evan. So going back to now, I know Built to Serve, we had started that, and then we got into the topic of your community.
You're keeping us on track as kids.
Yeah.
She's got the memory. She knows what
I got you. Don't worry, I got you. So I want to focus now completely. This is your, and we have a dog. We have 2 little cute dogs, so it's all action in here. I want to focus really, though, on this concept that you've come up with, and now you're doing your huge 3-month book tour on Built to Serve, and this concept of, you start with yourself. Obviously, you need to self-serve, first and foremost, and then like we talked in the other interview about the fact that you don't have to be a global figure. You can serve, the 25 people that are around you. But if you also want to take it to that next level, to be a global servant to the world at large. So please tell us where you came up with this concept. You've studied so many amazing people over the years that are very successful. And I think there's obviously that element of them giving back, adding value of some way. So you've come up with this. Share with the audience all about where it came from, what you want to do with it now, and how other people can also learn to serve as well.
So it starts with the thesis that humans are built to serve. So it's hardwired into you. So it hits the same part of your brain as having food and having sex, which are important. So is serving. So if you're not happy, again, it's tied to your one word, but if you're not happy, you're not serving others, especially if your word is connection, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Like
I'm a Virgo too. Like I'm literally built to serve.
Right? And so some people, again, are built to serve the world and have a big mission, and others just the closest people to them. But if you're not happy, you're not serving. So, okay, great. Well, how do you serve then? So I want to serve. Yes, I like helping people, but how am I going to actually help people? So I walk people through a 3-step process, who, why, how. Who is figuring out your one word. So we kind of started that process already. So what's your most important core value? Because that's going to be, you're going to serve people best through connecting with them. I'm going to serve people best through believing in them and everybody else. It's always a positive. I've never had somebody's one word be death or something. Like it's always
something good.
It's positive. It's always positive, right? Hate or anger. Like it's always something positive. Next is why. So your why is your purpose, and your purpose comes from your pain. So whatever you struggled with the most in life, emotionally, physically, not physically, not like I broke my leg and it hurt. Like when did you feel the lowest as a human being? Worthless. That you want to help other people get out of. So there's a lot of people who currently are what you used to be. And going back and helping them will be the thing that lifts you up. And that never gets old. Like connection will never get old. When you're 95, you'll still love connecting with people. And whatever you suffered through, you'll still love helping other people go through that and get out on the other side. Because you came out. And you may not be all the way done. You're not fully out, but you're better than where you were.
I always say the quote, you are a masterpiece and a work in progress always.
Same time.
Continually.
Yeah, so you're better than you were 5 years ago. And there's lots of people who currently are who you were 5 years ago. And so you reach back and you help them. You help them get better. And so, yes, holding the door for somebody will make you feel good. And yes, buying the cup of coffee for the person behind you in line will feel good. But helping somebody who you see a younger version of you struggling with the things you struggled with, and helping them get out of that hole will fill you up to a whole new level. And so a lot of people are afraid to look back at their pain, are afraid to share their story, are afraid to dive back into it because it's so painful. But in serving those others, that's how you heal.
Yeah.
If you look at Alcoholics Anonymous, one of the 12 steps is serving. You have to be a sponsor to somebody else. It doesn't work unless you go back and help somebody else who's alcoholic, right? And so it's the same thing. If you want to actually heal from this thing, you go back and help other people with the knowledge and skills that you've gained, because you've gone so much further than a lot of people. A lot of people feel hopeless, desperate. I can't get out of this hole, but you got out. You did it, and so that represents hope to them. And so that's the why. Your purpose comes from your pain. The last part is the how, which is how did you get out of it, is teachable. How you got out of the hole that you were in, how I got out of the hole. I mean, my why was I struggled so much as an entrepreneur, and I quit on my first business partner. So I felt worthless. I was too ashamed, embarrassed to tell people how much I was struggling in my first business. And so now I want to make the world a little bit, for everybody else who's struggling, to make it a little bit easier for them, right? So belief. I need to believe in myself more. So how did you get out of it is now a teachable lesson for other people. How I got out of it was modeling success. When I looked at Bill Gates and how he built his company, that's what saved my company to be able to go from the ashes to create something amazing.
Yeah.
And so for the past 20 years, it's all I've been doing is modeling success and teaching people how to model these successful people. So however you got out of the hole you were in is teachable to other people. It's not just some random fluke that you got out. Like that can work for other people.
Yeah.
And so you need to go off and teach it, and that will fill you up. And so that's the who, I, how process. And then the last part of the book talks about how to actually turn into a business, because I think having a purpose is amazing. It puts you ahead of most of the world, but most people who do find their purpose end up just doing it part-time, evenings, weekends, which is fine. But if you can turn it into a business, then you can do it full-time, and you can hire a team, and you can all be doing this to have a big impact on the world. So how do you turn that purpose into a sustainable business that then you can scale up? That's the essence of the book.
Wow, Evan, oh my goodness, my heart is so happy just like hearing you describe this and to have gone so deep into how you came up with this concept. It really is brilliant. I just want to say that. So congrats on just like figuring that out for yourself, because that's a huge, huge thing, especially nowadays. I think more than ever we need to connect with one another, and I do believe we're all meant to serve. Yeah. So to actually have a system, a streamlined system that people can follow in order to actually live such a purpose and like I really do believe your purpose. There's so much passion that lies in that. So to live a full life of purpose and being so driven to help others and give back in such a profound way, and also whilst you're doing that, actually heal yourself because you're actually helping others and being of service to the world at large, whether that's your world or the great world out there. Like, what an amazing concept that all of you, I hope, can take something away from today. So that said, I know we're expecting some connection going on soon,
right?
But
sure.
I would love to know how myself and the audience watching, how can we serve you in the best way today?
The best way is to go off and take this message and do something with it. You know, I think Mandy probably feels the same way. Every time we create something, the goal is to have it have legs and go, and we want to serve, right?
Yeah.
So the best way to serve me is to go figure out your one word, figure out how you can serve today, take some action, whatever comes to mind. So if I say, you know, I'd love to do X, whatever that X is, do it today. Like smallest possible way, just get started, do that one thing today. I think that's the highest tribute that you can ever pay somebody who you've learned something from, is take their advice and go actually apply it.
Amazing. And Evan, one final question for you. What do you wish was the question more people asked you?
I don't think that way, because the question I wish people asked me is the one that they actually care the most about. Whatever the one that they're secretly hoping that they wish they asked but were afraid to ask, like that's the question, and then lead with it.
Right? Okay, I'm gonna rephrase that then. What question do you think more people should be asking themselves?
Ooh, themselves. I thought you were gonna go somewhere else.
I like to trip things up.
I like that. I think people need to start with, who am I? Figure out your one word. I think it's a super valuable concept.
Who am I?
Yeah. What do I value most? What's my most important core value? From there, everything flows.
Beautiful. Okay, where can people find you, aside from my first ever Pave Your Paradise podcast?
Right? Leave a comment.
Video.
Send some love. Leave a comment in here for Mandy. She's doing all this work.
But where can they find you, Evan? Where are you available?
I mean, the books, wherever you buy books. People know me for either my books or my YouTube channel. But wherever you're hanging out in social, I'm probably there. Just look for Evan Carmichael.
Amazing. Evan's family, who has joined me today, thank you so much for this amazing experience together.
Thank you for the love, and thanks for making me #1 on your video. This is exciting.
All right, thank you.